In today's video, I'm gonna show you how you can meal prep 5 servings of cheesy and delicious baked pasta that is packed with over 65 grams of protein per serving. First things first, let's cook the pasta. Bring a pot with salted water to a boil, and as soon as it starts to simmer, add in 400 grams of pasta weighed raw. I'm using penne, but the shape doesn't really matter here, just use what you have in your pantry. Let the pasta cook for 11 minutes until al dente. Now, while this is simmering, you can pick out your meal prep containers. I found mine on Amazon, they are pretty good in my opinion, and already put them into the fridge to cool down, and I will show you why in just a second. You can now move on to prepare the sofrito, which consists of dicing 250 grams each of onions, carrots, and celery into fine pieces. Sofrito is the Italian base for many recipes like soups, stews, or in our case, a meat-based sauce. After dicing the vegetables, you can also finely chop up 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. Not only will all the vegetables add great flavor, but they will also increase the volume of this meal quite a bit. This entire board has under 200 calories in total. Next up is 1000 grams of extra lean ground beef. This is our protein source. Now here are all the ground beef versions you can buy in the store. This one is 5% fat, which is called extra lean. You can use regular ground beef as well if you want. However, keep in mind that it will increase the calories by about double. Okay, let's get cooking. To start, add 14 grams of olive oil into a big pan over medium heat and add in the onions, the carrots and the celery with a strong pinch of salt. Now at this stage, you want to slowly cook the vegetables for about 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. Slowly cooking the vegetables will develop a lot of flavor, and because it's quite a lot of food, this will take a bit of time, so just relax and keep stirring every few minutes. You will see that a lot of the vegetables will slowly but surely become translucent and start to caramelize, and also shrink a bit in size as they lose their water content. As this is finishing, the pasta will be ready, so just drain the water and let the pasta sit in the sink for a few minutes. Also, this would be a good time to start the broiler or set the oven to maximum upper heat. We are going to need it. Okay, usually I would add the beef right into the pan now. However, this would overcrowd it, which will result in improperly browned beef. So remove all of the vegetables from the pan, add in another 14 grams of oil and then the beef. With ground beef, what I like to do is treat it like a steak at the beginning of the cook. Just leave it untouched in the pan to develop some browning on one side for about a minute. That will add a lot of flavor. Add a strong pinch of salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Then flip the meat, let the other side brown as well for another minute, and then break it up with a spatula. Keep in mind this is extra lean beef, so it will cook quite quickly. Once the meat is cooked, you can now push it to the side, add 2 grams of oil and then the chopped garlic into that oil. This will just take 30 seconds or so, but develop a lot more flavor. Then give it a stir and add in 20 grams of tomato puree. Add it in and stir it around the pan until the meat is fully covered and turns red. This will take you another minute or so. At this stage, you can add back in all of the vegetables and then 700 grams of passata, aka tomato puree. On top of this, in a big container, add 500 grams of water along with 25 grams of stock powder. I have beef bouillon powder. You can also use chicken or vegetable as well. I highly recommend having one of these in your pantry. They last forever and are great to enhance flavor and to make a speedy broth. On top of that, add in 15 grams of dry gelatin. Now, this is the ingredient that will add richness to the recipe without having to use stock made out of actual bones. This is an incredible underrated ingredient that is used in restaurants all the time. So combine the broth, add it to the pan, give everything a very good stir, then close the lid and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Then remove the lid and let it simmer for another 10 minutes to reduce the sauce, which will intensify the flavors even more. Once the sauce has cooked down, don't forget to taste it to check for salt and then remove from the heat. Alright, at this stage the sauce is ready, the pasta is ready, so add both of them into a baking dish. This one is 30 by 20 centimeter or 12 times 8 inches. Give it a slow mix to combine all the pasta with the sauce, and then add 100 grams of shredded mozzarella cheese on top. 100 grams will be enough to cover the entire surface with cheese. Optionally, you can also add about 50 grams of Parmesan cheese if you want here. However, this will add another 40 calories per serving. So this now goes under the broiler into the oven for only about 2 minutes. The dish is ready. All we want is to let the cheese melt, and then look at this. beautifully melted cheese, and on top of this, and I love this about the recipe, you will get these crispy, slightly burnt pieces of pasta. This adds a nice crunch to the meal. So divide it into 5 big strips. I like to use a measuring tape. That's just me growing up in Germany and being over dramatic with being concise, and then cut it once horizontally so you end up with 10 equally big portions. Take out the meal prep container from the fridge and then add 2 portions in every container, and because the containers are cold, the pasta will also cool down. That will help to reduce the waiting time until you can store it in the fridge. It's better to wait until the pasta is not steaming anymore before closing the lid and storing into the fridge so it doesn't create too much water. You can store them in the fridge for up to 5 days, or you can also add them to the freezer for up to 3 months. In my opinion, they are even better that way. You can then either let them thaw in the fridge overnight and microwave for 90 seconds, or pick them out from the freezer directly and microwave at a lower setting for 5 to 7 minutes until they are cooked through. Every serving of this baked pasta dish has 740 calories with 67 grams of protein. If you like this recipe, you need to check out my cookbook that helped over 10,000 people lose weight and keep it off. It's packed with over 250 recipes that are all specifically designed to help you lose weight while not even thinking about being on a diet. The best part is that I will constantly be updating the book with new recipes, and you get all updates for free once you've purchased it. The book has a rating of 4.9 out of 5. It can truly change your life. The link is in the description.